Hey everyone, it's Hydro Pump here. Today I am going over the replays from Peak of the Beak 3, where I got second place in. The tournament had 91 players, so a little bit bigger than the last one that had about 80 or so. Um, but I played Vayu Turbo in this tournament, and just a quick couple things before we jump into the replays. So overall, there was 7 rounds, and including top cut, I went 8-2. So I went 6-1 in Swiss, and then 1-2 in top eight, and then lost in the finals. But I played Vayu Turbo again, and I haven't played Vayu Turbo, and I just kind of like jumped into this tournament like not really prepared. I just wanted to play something new. Previously, I played Black Wings and Dragon Turbo in tournaments, but I just wanted, I just kind of went unprepared, I guess you can say. I don't really suggest doing that, but you know, there's a lot of different decks you can learn in this format, and I think it's good to stick with a deck so that you can master it or get really good at it to a certain extent. Um, but yeah, it's just good to learn different decks, and so I just kind of went into this like off my like theory or what I wanted to try to do with the deck. Um, and I'll talk about that more in the actual deck profile video that I did, where it's just kind of like the theory I wanted to go with Vayu Turbo, and overall I think it worked pretty good. I did get second again, so I think it worked pretty good for the most part. Obviously, there's gonna be changes I want to make because I haven't really played with the deck too much aside from this tournament. I played it in I think it was Ribbit 2 last year, and that was kind of like last minute. Just I think I did testing with Pro Storm briefly up to that, but it was kind of like last minute. We were both trying to figure out what deck we wanted to play for that tournament. And overall, it didn't go well for that one, but it went well here. So, and it was also like kind of like a different meta game in a sense. Like Beta Turbo at the time was rampant, so I guess a lot of people were prepared, or and so on. So, anyways, we're just gonna jump into the replays here. We got what 10 of them here, so I'm gonna try to go through them quickly. Just kind of give a rundown of how the tournament went, and I'll give my thoughts on it. So, this is the first round. We're going Soji, I believe, and they are on the light zombie stun deck. So they go first. They set Pyramid Turtle Oppression. They have Allure, Rat, Paladin of the Cursed Dragon, Heavy Storm. Not really sure if Allure belongs in this deck because you open Earth, Earth, Light, so might be a little dicey there. But we go Charge, and we milled some good cards. Heavy Storm Dad. We also have some good cards in hand. We have Trap Dushu, Oppression, Caius, Vayu, Brain Control, so Dushu, Brain Control. Not too much to complain about there. Now, his top deck was situationally really good. Because he go Dushu here, not knowing what he's playing. And I was thinking about really hard what I wanted to get rid of, I guess. His Zombie World top deck was pretty crazy. Just because I have Brain Control Caius. So in theory, I can just Brain Control his Giant Rat, and then, Caius, his other guy. But it does not really work out that way. As he, obviously does not plop down the Zombie World. If this Raikou was a hamster, for instance, then it would be really good because, he attacks into a hamster, hamster gets Raikou, he activates Zombie World potentially, and then I just pop Zombie World. Not sure if he will activate, but then I could have been able to do the Brain Control Caius play, which would have been really good. But that is not the case. So I just have to set my cards. Now I kept Vayu in hand just in case I draw like a Dark Grepher. And it doesn't really hurt that I just keep it in hand. Because if I draw Armageddon Knight, I gotta send Sirocco. But if I draw Dark Grepher, then it's awkward. And it's also kind of just lets me control the grave. Well, it doesn't matter because I have Dad in grave already, but if I didn't have Dad in grave and I had 4 darks, I just need to put one more dark in the grave, then I can, banish for Vayu, some armed wing and some dead, but that is not the case. So they draw Zombie Master, which is a dark, so they can go Allure here. And I think I just pretty much lose to Zombie World straight up in this game. I decided to set Vayu. I think I was trying to like see if Armageddon Knight can get like a nice Goyo play off Plague. But this is just Recruiter beatdown, which is kind of scary. Because I don't really have a good way to deal with all these recruiters. And of course, like his zombie or his Pyramid Turtle could just turn into one of the bigger zombies, like the red-eyed zombie dragon, which I think actually happens. That card's actually pretty good with Zombie World. And yeah, I just don't have any, like Oppression doesn't do anything. Bottom's Trap Hole doesn't do anything here, so I draw another Caius, which can't tribute someone with Zombie World, so I'm just getting messed up pretty good in this game. So it's not particularly a good start for me. I think, yeah, like if they could, in theory, just get Recruiter crash, make Dad live. And yeah, I'm just like a million cards behind. I think I kind of just make like a last ditch effort, but don't think it's really going to amount to anything. Brio, spin the rat. Yeah, I was dead. I think I just wanted to spin rat just so you can't summon like another recruiter and then make something like I think it was easier for me to deal with one guy because I had Necrogarden engrave. I could just stop the attack, whereas if he has two attackers, then it's just like, Anyways, go into this next game. I opened D Prison, double D Prison Solemn, Raikou, Card Trooper, Necrogarden, so pretty solid hand. And then they have Burial. I guess Burial's okay with this deck because you got Mizuki, Plague, but I don't know. It's more like a stun deck, I feel like, and you just want to focus on that, whereas you're kind of combining other things with it. You got Zombie World, Double Road, Crow. So, yeah. We're just going to prison the Mizuki. We don't want to deal with it. We're going to go Raikou. I think I popped the Zombie World, or I don't remember if I... Okay, I just popped a random back row. I guess I don't really care about Zombie World, because it's technically like a -1 for them, and I don't have Caius in hand, so it's not really an issue right now. And I saw him, so if like this one last card is a problem, I think I'm just gonna like try like gas pedal here. Didn't mill Vayu or Sirocco, so I decided in deck dev just because they have a million recruiters, so you know they have a lot of recruiters like last game. Deck dev would be really good there. So they did nothing. They drew creature swap. We're gonna go Card Trooper mill again. And you want to mill, like with this deck, I think you want to get your mills out of the way, your uncertain cards, and then you summon Armageddon or Greffer just to like send your last piece. So if you're, ideally you want to like set your Raikous and stuff first, or it kind of depends, like post side or faking your opponent out, but in general you just want to get your mills out of the way first, just to see what you mill. For instance, here we milled Sirocco and Necrogarden out the Card Trooper, or we milled Sirocco out the Card Trooper, and then we're going to summon Greffer to ditch the Vayu. So now that plays live. We tried a Vayu here for, I think, a Living game, but they had Crow, which is fine because they're just really kind of behind in the game right now. They draw Foolish, which is fine. They go Burial. So they kind of like 2-for-1 here just to get Pyramid Turtle out. They go attacking the Greffer, try to crash, get their big red eyes guy out, I assume. And we're not having it. We're just going to get rid of that turtle, and that's going to be game. Because they opened double Starlight Road. Alrighty, so they're going first this time. Yeah, Creature Swap, Turtle, Call a Haunted, Book, Burial again, and Mystic Tomato. So they got 2 recruiters, so not as many dead cards as last game. And we got Hamster, Prison, Sirocco, Prison, Raikou. Prison was like the MVP for this game. Like this card was just like outrageous in like this match. So we're setting or Hamster first. They're gonna go. I think they go creature swap, which I guess that's a little bit better than setting Raikou and then creature swapping, because then they can just pop card. Whereas Hamster's just gonna not do anything. I go D-Prison on their Mystic Tomato, just because they want to get the Recruiter here. And I'm just going to D-Prison, they chain Book. I go Dust on their new set, yeah, which is another Prison. I think I set Raikou and change Turtle to Defense, just so they can't crash with Mystic Tomato, or just run over. We set Prison, Judgment, yeah. They set Burial and Pass. We draw a Vayu. Here I'm thinking probably go flip Raikou, pop the Mystic Tomato, just to get it out of the way, and then we could tribute this Pyramid Turtle for Sirocco, which they don't really have anything for it. And that gets us over the Hamster. Then we can go for 200. They're gonna go Reborn here, which is fine. They're going to try to attack again. We're going to Prison again. So we're kind of just stopping all their crashing plays, which is really good. I feel like with this deck, this is something you want to probably like max out on Book of Moons, just because D-Prison really hurts this deck. Because he can recruit into the big Red Eyes guy and just, take out my field. But he's not able to do that here. We summon Vayu just because, it's free. Torrential, which they have Crow here, but we're just getting it out of the way. They summon Turtle, which is actually kind of nice that they decided to Torrential there and burn the Crow, because then they could just summon Turtle and try to crash. And I don't really have anything to stop that. I do have Solemn Judgment set, but I was kind of just holding on to it. Go Card Trooper Mill here. We're not going to attack. We're just going to. I think I was just trying to hit like a Vayu or something, but we're just gonna let him, beat over the trooper, get the draw. I probably should have sided out Dust Shoot here. Not sure why I didn't. I think I accidentally did not side it out, but I wanted to. Like I was like, oh my god, like why would he keep Dust Shoot against this deck? Like they just set a bunch of traps. They're going first, so I was like, I'm gonna lose this game because I did side out Dust Shoot. So go attack here. We got Raikou, pop the Turtle. We milled Vayu, which is very nice, and that's gonna help deal with the Mizuki. We're gonna summon Arnwing. They don't really have anything to stop Arnwing, and we're just gonna summon Greffer for damage. They go Mizuki play. We're going to Crow that. And they're going to set a Sangan and activate Heavy Storm. Now, honestly, I think they did that backwards. They should have gone Heavy Storm. And I'm just going to I'm going to Solemn the Burial just because, so they're not on anything. I just didn't want it. I guess maybe I could have. Like, if it was a Recruiter, then I can go. Once I find out what his set monster is, then I can go Deck Dev. So yeah, I just let him crash, and then he gets Turtle, and then I'll just Deck Dev at the end phase. At Deck Dev, as soon as he set the Turtle, just so I can see what his card is. So we draw Vayu, which is pretty nice because that'll get us into Armor Master. We go swing, swing. So if they draw any Recruiter, it's dead because of Deck Devastation Virus. They draw the Goku N guy. We just go Necrogarna. It's just gonna destroy itself in this game. So a little closer than I wanted it to be. I guess maybe a little missiding by not taking out Trap Dust Shoot. I had Crow for like a million years. I'm not really too much of a fan of the card. I side decked 2 in this tournament and didn't really like it too much. But I'll talk about that more in the deck profile. But it actually came up nice when he had a Mizuki, his turtle. So, anyways, that was round 1, and we won that one. We're playing as Cold Madness here in round 2. And I think they're on quick draw. Anyways, our hand here is Sirocco, Vayu, Caius, Solemn, Dark Armed. So we just set Vayu in back row. And they go draw and this end phase discard Treeborn Frog. I guess they're thinking this is a Raikou set. So they just want to like set Solemn Judgment or Book of Moon into a Raikou. They want to activate the scores too. I think they probably no, they don't. I drew another Sirocco, so I was like, well, might as well just Tribute Summon it. And then like if he sticks around, I can just Tribute for Caius, and then we're working towards more Darks Engraved for Dark Armed, and then we can summon Armed Wing too. So they bring back Treeborn, set Book of Moon. We summon Caius to Spanish the Treeborn Frog, get it out of the way. We swing. They take it because it's kind of a waste of Book of Moon, a Caius. They draw a Hamster, so they could do a. Last turn they drew a Foolish Burial, so they could do like a synchro play with Debris and Dandelion, which leads me to believe, like, I think they probably should have set the Solemn Judgment so they can force that play. Or, I mean, they have Heavy Storm, so I guess they're just trying to get me to set more back row. So they're probably going to go here, they're probably going to go like Heavy Storm, Chain Book, Foolish, and then do a synchro play there. So they're just kind of like unloading here. But this gets me 3 Darks Engraved for Dark Armed. So they make stars, have a bunch of tokens. They still have Hamsters, Soul Exchange, and Gores. So I was thinking about how I wanted to do this. I think I have summoned Dark Armed here. Or how did I do this? I think I do Armed Wing, and then summon Caius, and then he summons the Caius, and then I drop that. I think that's what happens here. Whereas, like, if I drop Dark Arm, I can't pop, and then you can just, like, Bounce, Trap, Hold it, and then it's just kind of like, well. Whereas here, I can kind of control the grave a little bit more if I banish these guys first. If he stops the Armed Wing, I can go Burial back to 3 Engrave, and then summon Dad, and then summon another Blackwing Synchro. So I think this is a better avenue to go about it. They saw on the Kais, it's like, okay, I can drop Dad and go Burial here. This is quite the combo. And we're just going to clear all the tokens, just, get them out of the way. We're going to go Burial here. And we're just going to pop their monster, and then I think it was enough for game. I didn't see the life points. Anyways, on to this next game here. They're going first. They got Mirror Force, Pot, Torrential, Trapdoshu, Lone Fire, and we're on Brain Controller. We're gonna Knight, Hamster, Mirror Force. And they draw their Thunder King, and they're gonna summon it. Not really sure what you bring Thunder King in for. It's probably not very good to bring against this deck, but here we are. Now they hold the Trapdoshu here. I guess it's okay because I had a lure, but in most cases, like, you just want to shotgun it. Unless you're playing a particular deck. Like, yeah, they should at least activate it at, like, I don't know what the point of holding it is, because now you don't know my Mirror Force, you don't know what my set monster is, and you don't know my hand. So we're gonna get Raikou here. And they set Solemn Judgment into Raikou. So like, if you're gonna set Solemn Judgment, you might as well set all your other traps, because then, like, your chances of hitting Solemn Judgment are lower. Unfortunately, I think I did hit the Solemn Judgment. Okay. Thinking on res, and then they Trapdoshu here, and then I was just confused. So they're gonna return the Vanity's Fiend. Um, I guess they were trying. I think they were trying too hard to like outthink it, where you just like you're probably just fine if you just activate Dust Shoot. Anyways, I guess I did that little sequence a little weird, but I guess I should have charged first, but I don't think it really mattered. Now, you just tribute summons for Sirocco just because, like, if I get Sirocco engraved, Vayu's live, and then next turn I'm going to tribute summon for Caius. I have Brain Control Caius, so, and they know that, so. They're going to bring out Titanial here, which Mirror Force is going to be really good against. And they said Torrential, so I think they're just being a little too conservative. And they saw my hand last turn, so, like, if unless I top deck Heavy Storm, then I guess they know because I have Caius, so, like, if I tribute summon Sirocco, or tribute for Caius, then they can go Torrential on it, but I don't know. Seems like it's a little greedy, so they just took 2k to the face. They're going to set Battle Fader, which is interesting. We're going to, pop the back row because I don't know what it is. And then I could just tribute summon Caius. I think I go Armed Wing here. They wanted to get 5 engraved for pot, so that was the merit of setting the fader. We're just gonna poke with Armed Wing. They're gonna go Pot Avarice. Now, Now, the deal with this Armed Wing, I'm kind of in a tough spot just because I don't have a way to. Well, I have Brain Control Caius, so I guess it's not the worst. They gotta go Foolish Dandy. They set 1. They are just holding on to this Mirror Force for dear life. So we're just kind of like waiting it out. I don't want to like commit to Brain Control Caius on like token back row. So we're just swinging. We're gonna set Reiko. Now you could say I'm playing this a little slow. Like it could have just gone a little bit more aggressive, but I feel like I'm pretty in control of this game. Like we're about on the same about card advantage, but they're really low on life. I'm at full life. I'm sitting on Oppression Torrential, so we're gonna go Reiko, pop the back row. They're gonna chain Dust, which is fine. We're gonna summon Caius and poke again. They're gonna summon Gores, which I'm on Brain Control Caius. Now, yeah, so I feel like I'm pretty much won at this point because have Heavy Storm. Like if they set any back row, it's not gonna matter. I'm not sure. And they're at 1,200 life points, so they were saying that. Okay, let's just let it play it out first. They were saying. Actually, they still knew I was on Brain Control Caius. Because I had Brain Control Caius the whole time, and I think I had double Caius in hand. It's not like the second one just left at some point. I don't even remember what they returned off the Dust Shoot. I think they returned a hamster. Anyways, I guess they were saying that they got a little greedy changing the token to attack and swing with it. So we can just go swing over the token for, what was it, 300? And then tribute Caius on itself. And then it's enough for game. So, it was interesting against Quick Draw. Just because I kind of grind out the second game. Just, I guess, good mechanics on my end, I guess. And I guess maybe a little poor on their side just because the Dust Shoot thing, just holding it and then just like setting Solemn but nothing else. This is a little strange overall, but I guess they really just wanted to summon Gores. Anyways, yeah, that was round 2. And we're going to go on to round 3 against Fitz here. They are on their Flameveil zombie deck. So they got Magician, Fire Dog, Tragodia, Zombie Master, Turtle, Hamster. So that's quite the mismatch. I guess, I don't know, so it's kind of like a lot going on there. We're going to go Sirocco over Hamster. no real point in just summoning Vayu and then just like getting punished by a hamster. I don't really think that'll be the best thing. So I don't think I said anything here. So they have Raikou. Um, I think they can go Turtle and then Trigodia over Sirocco. I think that might be what they do. Yeah. So they're gonna crack over the Sirocco, get Mizuki in, and then Mizuki can bring back Turtle for like a synchro play later. I drew Hamster, but it doesn't really do a whole lot. So we're just gonna go Vayu, crack into the Raikou, get out of the way. And we're gonna set 3. Feel like we kind of just had to set all our back row. There's no sense of just setting like 1, because we have to solve the heavy storm regardless. So and if they solve my 1 back row, I'm still in a really bad position. I just set torrential, and they go solemn. Well, then it's like they still got Mizuki Trigodia on field, and I'm gonna be taking a lot of damage. Whereas if I just set like, yeah, like if I don't think it works out. Like you just have to set all 3. There's no sense of just setting 2 either. You just slam all 3. Anyways, the summon Reaper here. I don't know if this is greedy. I guess, I don't know. I think they just kind of get slammed by Mirror Force or Torrential here in this case. And I did not. Well, Trigodia will go up to 20. Trigodia will still be bigger, so. Yeah, it's just a little. I guess it was kind of like a read that had Torrential, because I didn't like do anything with Vayu. So it's not Mirror Force, but you can also say that they could have Caius if they're on that. I'm not sure if they're on it or not. Anyways, I go Reaper here, I Torrential. I think they Mizuki it back, because they also have return, so it's like they can just kind of burn the Mizuki here. They're going to rip a card. They ripped a Sirocco, which was probably the better one for me. I'm okay with that. Go Arm Wing. We special summon Gale. Just to get the Reaper out of the way. We're just kind of going all out. We have Solemn, Bottomless, so we're just kind of going in here, and then we can set the Hamster. They're drawing a lot of monsters, so they drew Plague Spreader here, not particularly good. I think they have to go Zombie Master, Pitch, Plague, I Bottomless, and then they go Return Play, and I think I Solemn that, and that's the game. Bottomless, they go Return, I Solemn, and they got nothing. I guess all they got is a Plague Spreader, so that's gonna be game. So on to game 2. I think this was a crazy game where I just kind of like popped off. So their hand is Reaper, Turtle, Bottomless, Book of Life, Return, Prison. So looks pretty good overall. I mean, they have Prison, Bottomless for defense. You got Reaper, Turtle. My hand's Gale, Dad, Raikou, Vayu, MST. So and I draw Burial. So we have quite the combo here with a Dad Burial if we get that online. Here, I think I just set Raikou. I don't know if I set the MST or not. No, I just set Raikou. I think I wanted to hold the MST for when I do the Dad play. I think that was kind of like the mindset. They go Summon Reaper. Just try to get a poke in. Not really sure. I guess, if Hamster, it doesn't work out for them. If this is a set Hamster. And then I had to go Raikou pop their Reaper. So it's just kind of like, I guess, Raikou bait. And they got Book of Life on top of that. So I think that, let's see what I milled here. I don't think they Book of Life yet. We draw Rhoda. And I think I just like go all out here. We can MST the back row, which is the bottomless. We can, yeah, I think I just go crazy here. We go Armageddon Knight, get Vayu, get Armed Wing, pop that. Now it's kind of considering like, okay, what happens if he has Gores? But I said, screw it. If he has Gores, I can take care of it with Dad. I can still pop, or I can stop. I can still pop the Gores, and then let's go from there. So yeah, I just kind of went for the game shot, and they were just holding a lot of their stuff. Not really sure. I don't think just like holding stuff kind of like can cost you. Like if you're playing around Heavy Storm like really hard, it can just kind of end up costing you. But I don't know who would have made a difference here. So yeah, Dad Burial, quite the combo. Anyways, we're going against Mr. Maple here. I haven't really had a bad hand yet. I don't think I had like situationally bad, but like straight up bad, I haven't had one yet at this point. So I'm going first. I have Solemn, Bottomless, Torrential, Reiko, Burial, Dark Armed, and their hand is Heavy Storm, Bora, Shura, Bora, Brain Control. They draw Mirror Force. They just go heavy and just like activate Solemn, get it out of the way. Now I just go ahead and Bottomless the Shura, just so like, because I don't want to go Reiko, pop Shura, and then they just follow it up with a Blizzard play next turn. So I was like, I'll just get it out of the way right away. So that's kind of like the thing against Black Wings. You want to hit like banish like their level 4 guys, just so Blizzard is not gonna be like so relevant. Now I think I did like some weird play to play around like a potential top deck. Trap does shoot. It was a little strange. Pretty much I want to get this Reiko mill first off before I go for Rhoda. And that kind of just determines like what I want to do with Dark Arm. I had Dad Burial again, by the way. So this is kind of like just like a storm waiting to happen here. So they go Allure. They draw Kalu Icarus. They go set Bora, which it's kind of like a read that they have Icarus. Could be a Vayu, but don't think they're banishing Bora instead of Vayu here, so we draw Charge. Now I think, okay, so if I was playing, I don't know if there's a way around it, but if I were so to call play around Trap Dust Shoot, I don't know if there's a way to do it correctly. Even I drew Charge. I think I would have to charge first. Let me think. I would have to charge. I'll get Reiko. I would pop a card with Reiko. Yeah, I think I did a little bit backwards. Well, I definitely shouldn't have wrote it if I was playing around it. I mean, I could set the charge, but I don't. I was thinking more so they were on Icarus at this point, anyways. So I just want to get the Rhoda out of the way before I go for Reiko pop. And I guess I missequenced a little bit. It was a little sloppy, but I guess it worked out. I kind of wanted to. This is what I was thinking. I know this is kind of like a rant, but I wanted to see what I mill of Reiko and pop a back row. So say if I milled 3 darks, I didn't want to activate charge. Or something like that. If I just happen to mill 3 darks. So then I get Reiko card to pop a back row. And then if I mill 3 darks, then it's like got 1 back row out of the way. Then I could just summon Dad if I wanted to. But if I go charge and mill 3 darks, then it's like, well, I don't want to flip Reiko because if I mill another dark, it's awkward. I guess it didn't really matter. Like as long as I didn't mill stuff that wasn't like Vayu Sirocco. Like, so I guess like I had a theory, but I don't know if it really mattered all that much because then I could just go Armageddon Knight and fix the grave. So, but anyways, I milled another Reiko, so it just kind of fizzles. So I guess it was missequencing from my side. But now we can go Armageddon Knight, and I don't think I don't have enough darks, so we're just kind of Armageddon Knight, try to get enough. And we kind of, I don't know if that mattered too much. Anyways, I got 3 darks engraved, so I was like, I'm gonna wait for him to. I'm kind of on low life points, so if he had something to burst me, but he's also on 3 cards, so. So we got, yeah, here's this game now. Anyways, that was a lot more complicated than it should have been. I don't know if, I think I played that wrong overall. Anyways, they go, their hands, well, after alert, I think they're probably gonna banish, okay, they banished Blizzard because they have 2. They got Balance, Double Dust. Not really. What do you want to, what are you afraid of me? I guess they're afraid if I go, like, no, like, I feel like you just said Dust Tornado, right? Yeah, because you got Crow in case I, like, burst play, which you wouldn't need to use Bottomless. So I think you definitely just set Dust Tornado here if you're playing, like, if you're playing like this, the player on Heavy Storm, which I do have, but I think you just said Dust Tornado, like, yeah, a little strange. But my hand is Vayu, Torrential, Cyber, Burial, Heavy, Dad. So Dad in these 2 matches, this match and the past one, is just glued to my hand. So I think I drew it every game. So I think I just passed because, like, again, I kind of want to, like, mold my hand to make that live. So, like, if I draw a Dark Grepher, then it's really awkward. So I'm just kind of holding the Vayu. I think I set a prison here, and it goes Dust. That was just bizarre because, like, you didn't set the Dust the first time, but then the second time he goes set Dust. So I guess because of hand size, but and then probably gonna set another Dust here. Okay, and they didn't attack because I guess they think I'm on Gores, which I guess they get wrecked by Gores. We drew Armageddon Knight. Is there a play to be had here? I don't know if we just send Necroguard now. Crash. Okay. Trying to think. So they drew Whirlwind, so then they're gonna bring this back. We drew Bottomless. Go Heavy. Yeah, we just heavy all their stuff just so Whirlwind doesn't get, like, out of control, and then we have Torrential Bottomless. They go Vayu, and then this gives me the 3rd Dark Engrave, so. And they set a Compulsory. Compulsion Road. So Road, I think he drew Road for turn a little too late. And we go Dad. I think we popped the Android here. We just start chasing the back row. Okay, I could just fix my grave because I drew Burial. So, like, he goes Compulse here, that's fine. We go Cyber Dragon, beat over. He draws Sirocco, so his hand is, he's in a pickle right now, and Dad just kind of, like, took out all his cards. So was he on 3 to, well, let's see what happens after Brain Control. So he's on 2 to my 6. Now could have summoned Dad here. Like, I could have just gone. Trying to think of why I didn't do that yet. I think in my mind I was just thinking, like, what's the worst that can happen? Because he sets a back row, I can dust it. He does something to attack Hamster, get Reiko. So I think I just wanted to see what happens with Reiko first. Um, and I was like, screw that. I'm just gonna go ahead and just go in. Which, not sure why he didn't DD Crow the Gardna or Vayu. Like when I go burial and I have died, I think you just have to crow one of them just to stay alive. Like, but I guess yeah, I feel like at this point, like you just have to do that. This was a interesting thing. So he goes summon Arnwing. I just didn't want him to summon Blizzard, and then it would be awkward for me to bottomless something. But then it's like, what can he draw? But I had Necrogarnet, so I guess it didn't matter. But yeah, that was just really. Yeah, they said they punted. Yeah, it was just a little weird play on my side, but I guess Mr. Maple just he could play a little bit better too. So that was I think that was round 3. So now we're playing as Chai, who is on fairies. Uh, they are on, so they go set Warrior Lady bottomless. So pretty good starting hand from them. Honest, Compulse, Alchemist, Mind Control, kind of crazy. My hand is Hamster, Kaya's, Charge, Sirocco, Prison, Reiko. So I think I just set the Hamster here. I didn't go Charge just because I opened the one Reiko. So if I go Charge, mill Reiko, or say I milled double Reiko, or yeah, if I milled one Reiko, then I add one Reiko, then I had no more Reiko for Hamster. So let's kind of hold off there. They go Warrior Lady here. I guess they don't know what I'm playing. So I guess Warrior Lady was a good for them. And then the main phase 2, get rid of my card, my D prison. I go Charge now. And milled Sirocco. See what happens here. I think I was just kind of taking the slow approach because my hand is a bit slow. So I just like this. Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? Like, if I summon Kai's, banished. If I just throw Kai's out there, it just lets them go like recruit or crash into like a Christia. So I didn't want to do that. So I think I just like went with the, wait for my draws to happen and wait for my mills to happen, and just Reiko them to death. So they go Alchemist here, and then they go Warrior Lady to banish my hamster. Guess they just really want to get hamster out of the way. It's just sitting there. I guess they want to clear my board, just so I can't tribute summon. And we got rid of the Nova summon just to get the recruiter out of the way. We don't really care about the alchemist too much, because what is it gonna do? Add like a DD Warrior Lady back? Not really too threatening. We did mill Heavy Storm, so they can kind of just sit their back row freely. We drew Dark Armed with, so we drew Dark Armed. This card's just pretty crazy. So again, not really a play to be made here. Like I guess I could go Sirocco over the. I just didn't want to attack into, back row and stuff like that. So I guess the honest being a problem throughout the game. So I was like, I think they misplayed a little bit here. So they should have gone if say they wanted to get like a little aggressive, or just like get fairies in the grave. They should have gone honest attack Reiko, and then Reiko. If I want to pop honest, which is a better monster to pop, then they can still get an 18 with Alchemist. Whereas here they go Alchemist attack Reiko, and I just popped honest, and then they just lose out on a card. I mean, Alchemist would miss time if I popped it, but I guess they're choosing to have Alchemist over Honest, which I don't really think Honest is just better to have here. Anyways, we milled our way to 4 darks. We drew a dead hamster. So we saw an armed wing here. And they didn't bottomless or anything, so that kind of leads me to believe that they don't have bottomless. And tributing armed wing here gets me to 3 darks engrave. So I go Kai's to take out a back row. Oh no, I'd go Alchemist just because. Yeah, so this is a situation. So like, I get rid of the Alchemist. They don't have any monsters, and then I have Necrogarna. So like, I'm always gonna have like, 3 darks engrave from this point on, or I can just control the grave, really well with Necrogarna. But what they did was a bizarre play. So I go Caius target Alchemist, they chain Compulse on Alchemist, and then activate Bottoms on the Caius. Whereas they had Deprison, so they can just Deprison the Caius. I'm like, okay, well I'll just summon Dark Arm since you did that, pop your back row. Whereas if they just held the Deprison for the Caius and kept Bottomless, then they could balance the Dark Arm. So I guess a missequence by them on that. They draw Reiko. They set Alchemist. I don't think I really cared about the Alchemist at this point. I'm just gonna summon Vayu. And then like, so this is a situation here. So I throw Vayu out there. If they, yeah, I think I just have like, so now I can go, I think I just go banish Necrogarna, pop the back row, and then I can distribute Vayu. Oh, or I did it backwards, because if they had Torrential here, then I can just summon Armed Wing anyway, so. Yeah. Anyways, that's game 1. Game 2 is weird. So again, they open Mind Control again, which kind of crazy card to open against Raikou decks. Mind Control, Gores, Yada, Christia, Breaker, Warrior Lady. And I open Hamster, Sirocco, Raikou, Aaron, Oppression, and another Raikou. So these past couple of hands have been really Raikou Hamster heavy. So we just set Hamster. They go Warrior Lady, they Mind Control, and then they have a I think this deck plays one Raikou just in case they Mind Control a Hamster, so they can get value off it. So I just go Oppression here. We kept Oppression, or I kept Oppression just to keep them off Chrissy. I don't know if I think I had other cards I wanted to side out, so I thought Oppression wasn't that bad to keep in. Keeps them off like the return play too. Getting kind of crazy. So I draw Armageddon Knight, so I'm kind of playing the same game plan again. Like I took a lot of life points there with these 2 attacks, but just like trying to like my hand is not that good, so I'm just trying to see where these Raikou mills take me. So they go Breaker, Pop, Oppression. I guess they're just trying to get really aggressive. We pop the DD Warrior Lady. And I don't think, yeah, we just made a bunch of traps. They set Compulsory. I think I just set another Raikou and pass. They draw Return. We go. Oh yeah, this is a weird situation. So they go Angel Attack. I flip Raikou, but assuming that that's all. But they're like, oh wait, I have Compulse on the Raikou. I'm like, okay, well I have to Solemn that, otherwise I die. Because this would be too much attack. So then they're like, okay, Angel Attack, and I go Raikou Pop Breaker. Would have been bad if they did it the other way around. Well, actually, it worked out better for me. You'll see in a second. So they set Warrior Lady. Now, In hindsight, they could have summoned Warrior Lady and just won there. Uh, but I guess they were playing around Torrential. Yeah, I guess they were just playing around Torrential because Mirror Force is in the grave. So I drew Deck Devastation Virus. So I'm like, well, I can just set Sirocco, set Deck Dev. Still don't have a Vayu in grave. And now I assume like their set monsters like just a recruiter. So they go MST here. I'm like, okay, chain Deck Dev. Hopefully they don't have like a breaker again, and they don't. They have Return, Christia, Gores, and they have they have one fairy engraved. So I'm like, okay, and we're just gonna summon Aaron here and just start milling away because like they can't draw a recruiter, otherwise it'll just die, so it doesn't do anything. And I can set Dust Tornado, just mill 3, and I was thinking to myself like, if I draw a Caius here, then that would be really good to take care of the Gores because like, I can just go Aaron, attack, they're going to get token, Gores, then I'm going to be like main phase 2, summon Caius, banish the Gores, but then I milled double Caius. And I haven't milled a Vayu or a Sirocco yet. Like I had the one Sirocco I started with, but I haven't milled anything. No Plague Mill, no Necrogardner Mill. They draw a Dust Tornado, which I know. Now I kind of messed up here a little bit. I should have summoned the Armageddon Knight. And just milled Plague or send Plague and then make a Goyo. Then I can just go. Then I can freely Aaron attack. And if he drops scores on Aaron attack, then I can just go, okay, Goyo attack over Gores, take their Gores, and then they're in like an even worse position. And if they draw Honest to make their token have a live attack to go for a game, well, Deck Dev still live, so yeah, I think I realized it like a turn after. I was like, oh wait, I can just do this. Initially, I think I was just like hoping that I can mill something that's to like go for game, but anyways, I see the line here. And then we finally mill double Vayu. Now they rip a Kaiku. I think it's the last turn of Deck Dev, so they rip Kaiku, which kind of annoying. Right after I mill my double Vayu. Now I know they have Dust Tornado sets, so there's like no point of dusting their dust to make their Gores live. I drew Dark Armed, but what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 darks, and it just banished my Vayus, so I can't really change the grave around too much. I'll take the Kaiku. They drew another dust. Now, I don't know what this dust is. I don't know what their new draw is, but I go dust on their new set, and then they have to chain Dust Tornado on my set to make their Gores live. So, now what happens here? So it's not, I guess, a 2-for-1. But now I can kind of just do what I did before, where I can just attack with Kaiku, and then, pass. They draw another Christia, which is dead. And I think I can go for game here. This game regardless, because Greffer, I think they drop Gores on the Greffer, but yeah, it's attack everything is still game. So yeah, a little weird play on their end. Definitely some, I guess, misplays. And I could have done the Goyo thing a turn before. I guess another thing is, I don't know. I guess holding brain control didn't really matter here. I also didn't want to go like stack brain control in the middle with Aaron, so it's like a little awkward. Anyways, we take that game against Fairy, so I think we're 4-0 at this point. Or is it 5-0? Yeah, 5-0. So if I win this game, then because it's only 7 rounds, I'm guaranteed to make it in because I'll be 6-0. So this is a Vayu mirror. I think they go first. Yeah, they go first. They have Sirocco, Vayu, Caius, Balansam, Plague. Let's go Vayu, set bottomless. Now this is probably like the biggest misplay of the tournament for me. I was thinking a while, I was like, well, my hand's not really that good. But I know it's like the mirror. I should have just summoned Armageddon Knight attack. Because, like, okay, so with this, like, when you're playing against, like, a Reiko deck mirror, or, like, Reiko Kai's mirror, like, you just have to, like, summon your guy, attack, and just hope it's, like, not hamster. Because you can't just leave him a monster for Kai's. No, so, like, Armageddon Knight, summon, attack. If it's a Reiko, that's fine. Don't really care. If it's a hamster, you know, it sucks, but, like, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's pretty bad, but it's more likely to be a Reiko than a hamster. So you just have to like summon Armageddon Knight attack, and then like that keeps them off Caius. Like you get the mill, but hopefully they don't have like a follow up. So like here, if I were to go Armageddon Knight attack Vayu, then they're like, okay, summon Sirocco next turn, set Solemn Judgment. Then I summon my Sirocco. Like I'm in the game. Whereas doing this play here, setting a monster, it's like you're just instantly out of the game. Um, and I was just kind of, yeah, I didn't set the prison because potentially it's Reiko, but if I just summon Armageddon Knight and attack, then, you know. So I kind of just lose this game out of the gate just because I didn't do that. And it's just like going downhill from there. Having bottomless there would have been nice, but having bottomless would have been really good there. Because then I still keep the Reiko. Have to kind of make like a desperation play here. And they had Chaos Sorcerer, so I think they just had like a pretty crazy hand overall, but I definitely messed up. So I'm going first. Hand is okay. Draw Heavy Storm, so. And we go Armageddon Knight. Send Necrogarnet. So I just want to get a monster on board to stick for Caius. I set Prison. So they go Heavy Storm. Like, they can't just run over Armageddon Knight. And I also have, so sending Necrogarnet is kind of like insurance to summon Caius. Anyways, they have Dust Shoot, which kind of just foils that whole plan. They go Dust Shoot here, and my hand just instantly turns bad. If they didn't have Dust Shoot here, I think I probably won this game. They get Caius. I'm like, okay, that stinks. I think I'd go for like a Stardust play here. And I just make Goyo, like instead of like another level 6, just because. Unless I go like Burial, Back Plague, then Goyo wouldn't come up again. They go Mill only. They summon Chaos Sorcerer, which stinks, but I go, so they go Priority, Banish. I go Bottomless Trap Hole, but then I chain Bottomless. I chain Stardust to Bottomless. Just so Stardust will go to the grave. And they drew Solemn Judgment again, so. Now, I don't Heavy Storm here because I'm like, well. I think I just have to keep the D prison because I'm so behind. And they go, so I just like clear the Chaos Sorcerer, and then like they have Kaya, so I'm like, well, I'm screwed. They go Vayu here, I go Banish D prison, they go Solemn. So I don't even get the like value of the Heavy Storm. Which I don't even know if they had the Solemn there. That was just kind of like, I guess, I don't know if it was greedy on their part, but like they have Grepher Plague. So they could have a Vayu and a Synchro play next turn. So, whereas I'm just like on 2 cards. But I guess what they did is just like make sure they got game. So, yeah, I lose this one. I think I draw like a Sirocco here, but it doesn't really matter. So I lose. So I am, was it 5-1, and now I'm playing as GYBU for the win in. So the winner is guaranteed to make it in, whereas the loser they have to kind of like go for tiebreakers. I think they ended up making it in. I won this match, but I think they had really good tiebreakers, so they were able to get in too. So they're on Black Wings with Cyber Dragon in the main. They got MST Book, Shura, Kalut Cyber, Sirocco, and I got Bottomless Caius, Brain Control Gale, Sirocco. Um, kind of just went in here. Yeah, so I kind of just went like all out there. I don't know if it was correct to do all out, because if they have Icarus, that stinks. Uh, yeah, I should have just held on to the Gale. Yeah, that should have been the better play. Just hold on to Gale. But I was just like, trying to clear the back row as fast as possible. I could go Brain Control Caius, but, you know, that doesn't really get me anywhere. Because I don't have nothing to banish, so. We draw a Hamster here. They have Brain Control. They have a lot of guys. But, like, it's just awkward. I guess I can summon Bora if they really want to. But they're just going to be content. So I finally get something I can distribute off for Caius now. I think I got game here, actually. So we go Reiko Mill, Ditch Plague, send Vayu. Vayu get Armed Wing, Plague, stack, get Armory Arm, and then Brain Control. That's enough for game. So that was a little weird sequence, but I guess it worked out for me. I guess the conversation is like, should I go Sirocco, Gale, knowing they can go into Icarus attack that board. I guess the safer play was to summon Sirocco, but if I get D-Prison, that kind of stinks, so. Well, I was going to get D-Prison anyways, I guess, so. Yeah, I guess Gale was just kind of like a bit greedy. Anyways. This hand, they got Gale. They have a lot of monsters. They have Gale, Bora, Kalut, Sirocco, Whirlwind. I think they got Gale off the Whirlwind. And they got D-Prison. My hand, Cyber Dragon, Bottomless, Dust, Vayu, Necrogarnet, Gale. Yeah, I just set the one Dust just to play around the Icarus attack this time. They did not summon anything. I don't know. I feel like if your hand's like this stacked, I feel like you just summon into like. I think you just summon like Bora just to get a search again. You're just kind of like wasting your Whirlwind here. Like, sure, if you get torrentialed, then you can just you have to wait for me to do something, and then you summon Sirocco, and then like turn Whirlwind on. So I have to have like another trap to stop your Sirocco play. So, which we had bombs here, so I guess we technically did, but so yeah, then we set two. We just take her out. We just dust that, and then we can just bomb us whatever they summon off. The summon or get Whirlwind going. So now they go. I guess they feel better that they I have a set monster now, so now they can play around Torrential, but I just bombs that. They go attack. I think they use Kalut. Yeah, they use Kalut just to clear the Raikou, just to like keep me off Caius potentially. And they go set back row, which is at Bottomless. We drew Rhoda. And they just bombs the Cyber Dragon. Now we go Greffer into Armed Wing play here. Summon Gale. I kind of forget where this all goes to be honest. Oh yeah, so like they can. I put Necro Garden in the grave. Necro Garden was like, this card was like seriously underrated throughout the whole tournament. Like it's like pretty clutch. Not gonna lie. Just because you can just put it there with Greffer and then like, say your grave's a little awkward. Like there's no point in putting another Vayu engrave right here, when I can just put Necro Garden. So like, yeah, I kept all these Blackwing guys on the board, but I have Necro Garden, so they can't pump and attack. It just doesn't do anything. So he goes pump, and it's going to negate it, and then he goes Colossal. Now the play here would be Greffer, send Leg. Just so I can make Brionic, I think. But he has the Crow for it. Or what would I make here? Oh, I'd make a Dark End just to clear the Colossal, but he has Crow. So I was thinking here, I was like, what do I do here? Like, I can make Black Rose with Greffer and Gale, and then I can summon Armor Master, which is what I do. I made sure that kind of puts him on top deck Sirocco, but you know, we're here to win, and we're just swinging. So yeah, he drew Shura, or yeah, and then drew Mirror Force. But I just happen to have 3 Darks engraved, and I top deck Dark Arms, so that's gonna be it. Not sure if he would have gotten out of it. Well, he did have Armed Wing play, so I guess Dark Arm was pretty crazy there. But yeah, we managed to win that one. I think they played a little too passively game throughout these 2 games. Like, you just have to slam your guys, but especially if you have Whirlwind out. So I think that was like one thing my opponents just kind of played a little too passively, just playing scared, and then ended up losing them in a lot of these games. So yeah, so we were able to make it into Top Cut here. A True Hero is on their Diva Hero, like OG Diva Hero deck, and this is top 8. So yeah, they I think they are going. No, I'm going first. So I start with Hamster, Sirocco, Torrential Oppression, Does Shoot Card Trooper. I think I just. Oh yeah, I think I set Torrential and Does Shoot. I don't know if it was correct to set the Torrential or Oppression first. Maybe I keep both and just see what his hand looks like, and then decide from there. But I don't think it really mattered in this particular scenario. But their hand, they drew Torrential, so the only monster I'm getting rid of is Gilman, which I guess they're happy about. Other than that, I think their hand's like pretty solid. I mean, they have Solemn, Future Fusion, MST. Maybe if Bottomless and Torrential or something else, they would have liked that more. They set MST. I was thinking, I guess they were thinking I was like had a Raikou set, so they didn't want to set all this stuff or activate Future Fusion. But I don't. It's a hamster, so I guess that's kind of the thing. They just don't know if it's hamster or not. Because if they knew it was hamster, then probably would have wanted to set Torrential. But it's not going to work out like that. So we get Raikou. So I wasn't exactly sure what they set. I guess I was thinking along the lines that they set Torrential, but maybe they set Solemn to make their Future Fusion. I don't know. I was just a little confused at that point. So I just sent someone Card Trooper just to like, again, just try and get the mills going, see what I get. So we milled Vayu and Sirocco. Now I guess they could have, like, if they would activate Torrential, they would activate it now or buy now. They probably would activate Torrential on the set Raikou, but maybe, I don't know. I guess I could have technically summoned Armed Wing, just like go all out. But regardless, it's not game, so I didn't really see the need for that. And if they draw, in this case, if they draw like a Caius, then I get like really punished. Because then they can go like, okay, Fusion, send Mally, summon Caius. And I'm like, well, I'm just out of there. So I think it was better just the same to Arm Wing. I activate Oppression here. I know it's gonna get MST'd, but you know, I wasn't really supposed to hold Oppression against MST. Like I'm not. Might as well get out of the way. And they did draw Caius, so I think Arm Wing potentially would have been bad here. Now I activate Torrential on this. My thinking, overall, I think it was probably wrong to activate Torrential here and to save it, because like I'm losing like my board pretty much. But I didn't want this game to like they have Solemn, Torrential, Bottomless, Fusion. So I just didn't want this game to like run away in a situation where it's like, okay, I summon Gale, have Caius. Like if they Torrential, I don't think they would Torrential that, but actually yeah, they would Torrential because then I could just make Black Rose, but I don't. Yeah, so they would Torrential. They would have Solemn, Bottomless. They summon Absolute Zero in a couple turns. I Torrential. They Solemn. Now I'm just staring down a Absolute Zero. In hindsight, I think I draw like MST and something else, which are good draws. So I don't know. I just didn't want to like slow roll the Torrential just for it to get Solemn. I don't know if that's correct or not. It's kind of just like. But I draw MST, which is a good draw. I mean, I knew this Arm Wing was going to get Bottomless, so I was like, I don't know. I guess in hindsight, well, I don't know if it really mattered. Maybe it would have been better for them to Torrential the Arm Wing, just so they would have Bottomless for something else when they have Absolute Zero. Anyways, I threw Gale out there. Just like, I felt like it would just be a little too passive if I was just like, not. I guess maybe I should have just waited for them to summon. Like, if they draw Stratos here, it would be kind of like a bad situation, potentially. But they draw Gold Sark into Miracle Fusion. And I don't. Their new set is direct deck that, which is just dead. And it's not gonna do anything. Draw Bottomless. I'm just gonna attack. They draw Gores, which is another dead card. Now I know their Miracle Fusion is gonna be alive here, so we just set Vayu. Now, if I hadn't been attacking with Gale this whole time, then they would just be at 5,000 and chilling because these Sorokas wouldn't have done anything. So I guess it was. I guess it wasn't really right or wrong I summoned Gale, but I prefer not to play on the passive side when I'm playing Edison format. Like when things are unknown, it's just like you might as well just like go in, like, and because otherwise it's just gonna the game's just gonna like fall apart for you. So they burned Solemn on the Bottomless when they miracled, which I was like, yeah, sure, they're gonna Solemn this. And then I deprisoned the Absolute Zero. So now there's really low. Now I drew Hamster. Now I could have set Hamster and then get Reiko, but you know, if say I flip Hamster to get Reiko, they're just gonna Torrential the Reiko summon, which is like a turn behind. Whereas if I just summon Hamster, they're forced to Torrential it, and then we just go from there. They drew Gold Sark, which is dead, and then we drew Rhoda. They get Greffer, and I don't know what they're. Assuming it's like a, what is it? It could be like a Bottomless or Deep Prison potentially, or like their Torrential's gone, and unless they have Mirror Force, it's. I'm just kind of putting them on. They don't have Mirror Force, otherwise. I don't think they. I think they would have let the Torrential go. They just would have Mirror Force, but they just submit defeat there. So yeah, a little weird game. I think this game's also weird. So yeah, they have Diva deck dev, so they have bottomless deck dev, dad, gold sark, torrential, Diva. So their hands pretty good this time around. I don't really know if deck dev's amazing against Vayu. It could be kind of like hit or miss. Like if this Armageddon Knight was just like a Dark Grepher, then they kind of go neg. But I guess they know my hand then. So they gold start for heavy. They get this shotgun the deck dev, so I'm gonna lose Armageddon Knight and Necro Gardener. So losing out on the Necro isn't that bad. So we're just gonna set pulling the rug, which they know it's there. They just pass. And they're not setting back row because they know my hand and they're gonna get heavy storm. But they need to find a way to get 2 darks in the grave, so they draw malicious, set a torrential pass. I reveal Mind Crush. So I didn't really summon Grepher that last turn just because I don't know what any of their cards are. And then if I draw like a dark, I guess I could summon this Grepher and just be swinging. Just to get myself on 3 darks, but I'd prefer to just like kind of control the grave a little better. So I set the Mind Crush. They draw Future Fusion, which is pretty good. Pretty good. Now, I was thinking that they drew Malicious because they sent the evil guy. So they have like a Malicious in hand. I drew another Grepher. So I was like, okay, I'll do Grepher. Pitch Grepher, send Plague stack. And it puts me on 4 darks. Yeah, I guess my theory was I can just like make a go-yo and just be swinging, and then it's just kind of for them to take care of from there. But I guess I was a little too hopeful, like that their back row were real. And now they go evil guy here, true from malicious. I guess you can say that I should have known it was Dark Arm in hand because they got Heavy Storm. But if they had malicious, like no, not malicious, if they had Miracle Fusion, like they got Heavy Storm because they have like a bomb play, like they're just gonna go off kind of thing. But if they had Miracle Fusion, I think they would activate it when they went Future Fusion. So maybe I should have seen that the dad play was coming, and I should have Mind Crushed Dark Armed. But I also didn't run the risk of getting rid of my own Dark Armed. So it's just kind of a weird situation. I guess I should have thought of. But they could have also just been like summon evil guy, summon malicious just to get the draw and get malicious in the grave. So then Dark Arm, like they could have not had Dark Arm, and I just lose out on Mind Crush. Now what happened here? Oh yeah, they get the draw for that. Now this is where I think I misplayed. Now I summon Dark Arm because I'm on 3 darks now, and they don't really have anything to stop. I mean, they have bottomless. I go Dark Arm, pop his Dark Arm. And this is like a hindsight mistake, but it actually would help me win the game if I just popped the Future Fusion. If I pop Future Fusion, Absolute Zero doesn't come out next turn. He still has Dark Arm, even though he's going to bottomless here. But you'll see next turn why this is relevant. So we just burial this to get Necro Garden back in graves just so we don't die. He draws Diva, which was a pretty crazy draw, and I think Malicious draw was unfortunate for him too, but he draws Diva, I'm like, okay. Because I was considering doing Cyber Dragon, beat over his malicious, but that just makes malicious live and so on. But I was like, I'll just save the Cyber Dragon. Anyways, I draw Brain Control. Now, if I had popped the Future Fusion, this would be Dark Arm instead of Absolute Zero. And this would have been a lot better for me, because then I can go, okay, I can go Brain Control, take your Dark Arm, banish Plague, or banish 2 of my Darks. Well, I had to beat over the Stardust first, which is the only thing to stop that. And then I could just banish my Grave, pop his field, and then tribute for Cyber Dragon over his Dark Arm. And then he would have no play, because he has Malicious in hand. So yeah, that would have won me the game there if I did that correctly. But it just kind of fell apart, so yeah, a little misplay by me. I can't even crash Absolute Zero into... My line of play was summon Cyber Dragon, but he just bombs it. So I can go Cyber Dragon, kill the Diva, and have Brain Control, Absolute Zero crash into his Stardust, but he bombs the Cyber Dragon. So that's just going to be game. And this goes on a little bit further. Nothing really happens. I mean, I'm still kind of in it, but he just draws like, yeah, he just returns next turn. So that was a bit unfortunate. I guess overall I played a little sloppy in this match. So I go first, game 3, and then I charged. I milled Necrogarna, which was really good. We just set Raikou MST. MST is for if he has Future Fusion play. He summons Stratos, gets Evil Guy. We're just gonna Necrogarna that. Just be like proactive, because I don't want to Raikou pop his strat. Well, that's end up what I'm doing, but yeah, I definitely messed up here. What was my draw? So I draw Greffer? I drew pulling the right. So yeah, I messed this up. Okay, you'll see here. I guess I was trying to get lucky with the Raikou, because if I mill like a Vayu, that I could just probably go for game. Which I don't. Well, I milled a Sirocco, but okay, this is what I was thinking. So I do Greffer, discard Sirocco. Yeah, I guess if I were to mill a Vayu here, then I have Armed Wing also. But I should have just kept Raikou set, special summon Greffer, tribute Greffer for Vanity's Fiend, and just swing over the Stratos. So then I would have set Raikou Vanity's Fiend, pulling a rug set, and then MST. And I guess my draw would be another Sirocco. Wait, no. My draw would be Hamster. Which, I mean, it's not amazing there, but I would still have the Raikou set, which comes up here in a second. So I'm just kind of like trying to clock him real quick. But I was like, okay, so the only thing I lose to here is Brain Control, which he has Brain Control, which stinks. So now I'm kind of in a tough spot. I'm like, well, I have Rug for his Caius, but then he summons his own Vanity's Fiend. I'm like, okay. That kind of puts me in a tough spot because I have nothing. MST his back row, which is a bottomless. And I drew the god himself, Gale, which is probably the most ideal situation to draw Gale. But if I had kept Raikou, so let's just play it back here. If I had Raikou, Vanity's Fiend, he goes Brain Control on Vanity's Fiend. My Vanity's Fiend attacks Raikou. I guess, I don't know if that really matters. Say I don't pop the Vanity's Fiend, then he still tributes for his own Vanity's Fiend. So I don't know. I guess it doesn't really fix that situation. But yeah, it's a little awkward. So maybe this wasn't like a total throw by me, but so he goes for Evil Guy, Caius play, and just rug him. I think he kind of just loses the rug regardless here. He sets another bottomless. He's only on 3,000, so I'm like, I'm just going for game. Like, screw it. Like, there's no, there's no point of holding back here, and that's gonna be the game. So, yeah, there's like a lot of weird sequencing like that happened in the match. So, anyways, we are on our way to top 4. Now we are playing as Ledio, who is on Hero Beat. Now this is Hero Beat without. It's just like Hero Beat. I think he does mean like a skill drain, like a single skill drain, but it's not like Diva Hero Beat. Anyways, their hand is Bottomless, Torrential, Road, Solemn, Hero Blast, Grand Mole. So I'm like, okay, well they have Solemn set, but they actually have Solemn and Styler Road set, just because they just slammed all their back row. I go Allure here. I didn't set Prison or Torrential because... Okay, so if they get in the Alias play, I don't want their Gemini Spark to like hit on my back row. They go Grand Mole here, which I kind of forgot. I knew they were on Grand Mole, but I forgot about Grand Mole, so I'm like, okay, we'll do the same thing, but we'll set D Prison this time. So we prison that. And then I was like, okay, I'll set Torrential. I have Reiko. Now he draws Strata, or he draws Rhoda here, which was just crazy. I don't know, I guess maybe I should flip the hamster, and then he would potentially Torrential that. I think he would Torrential the hamster. Summon of Reiko. Set another Reiko, so. Because I wasn't really thinking Torrential at the time, but he's going to Torrential wipe my guys. So I guess. Now he has Alias, Gemini Spark. So I was really wanting to get the mills out of the way. We go for Dark Grepher play here. I'm just gonna send Vayu. Now he's gonna swing. I'm not sure if it was worth it bringing the arm. I think if I just get Mirror Force there, I'm out. Just kind of like wrecked. So he goes bombs on the Sirocco. I go chain Torrential. Not really. I guess I did that because I wasn't really sure there's like another good opportunity I would get the Torrential. I just didn't want to deal with like a future Gemini Spark. He bombs to Armed Wing, which I have Burial, so I can just get it back if I want. He sets Hero Blast. So he has. Now, I think this is where I'd go to the MST. I know like one of these two back row is a Solemn Judgment, or I think it is. So I go MST1 is Solemn Judgment. So it's like a 50-50 and I hit the Solemn Judgment. Now I go Burial, go for Vayu play, get Armed Wing. Now I just didn't want to run the risk of them having like a D Prison because they haven't activated D Prison yet. So I was like, I'll just get the Ocean out of the way now. And we'll swing. I don't have any Vayus engraved, so. They go Hero Blast. Now this is where they messed up. They like, I guess they just see that I don't have a feel in the Book of Moon, but I just chain Necrogardener to their Book of Moon. I guess they forgot that I burialed it back. So I guess, let me see. I guess they would set Book of Moon. Oh, and another thing I wanted that was summoning the Kaias to banish the Ocean is to keep them off Miracle Fusion, which actually worked here. But yeah, they should have set Book of Moon and just like wait for me to attack with Kaias. But I have Card Trooper anyways, so I guess they would go Gemini Spark on Kaias anyways instead of activating Book of Moon. And they draw Miracle Fusion off that. And then they draw E-Call, which is just like, oh my god, are you kidding me? Which I know they're probably on Miracle Fusions because like they they haven't drawn any at this point. So I was like, I just screw Mirror Force. We're just going for the win. So we swing here, and then we swing with Armor Master, and then it's gonna be game. So if I didn't go all in there, then I was gonna have to deal with like absolute zero wall forever, and it's just gonna be obnoxious. So I guess in hindsight for them, they should have just gone for the Miracle Fusion play. That would have been a lot harder for me to deal with, but they didn't do that. I think I had Hamster in hand to get Raikou, so it would have been horrible to deal with, but yeah. So this game, and they also messed up with like just the Necro Garden and Book of Moon thing. So I won game 1, and we're on the game 2. They had Miracle, Crow, Honest, Spark, Cyber Dragon, and they got Stratos. They get Alias. Now I'm okay with just throwing Cyber Dragon out here just because I have the bottomless for their Cyber Dragon that they probably have, and they do. So we got Cyber Dragon swing. I didn't want to. I know they're on Gores, so I didn't want to like run Armageddon out there. I guess maybe I should have held on to Armageddon tonight, just so I just can't just run over it. But say if my Cyber Dragon gets dealt with, then I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe I should have held on to it. I'm not really sure. I think I would have Armageddon Knight Greffer. Yeah, I was just thinking get the Vayu out of the deck. Anyways, they throw Cyber Dragon out there, I balance it, then they go Alias swing over. Now they have Gemini Spark. I didn't want to. This is a little weird. I didn't want to just swing into Honest because, well, they do have Honest, but I wasn't sure if they do. But it's either going to be like a D Prison or Honest, and neither is good, which they do have Honest. So if I were to swing into Honest, I would actually take an extra 1900 here, so I'd be like pretty low. I draw Dark Arm, so I have Dad Burial. Now I was just thinking here, I was like, what do I want to do here? I guess summon Dark Greffer and pitch for. I think I just go. What happens here? May I go for like Dark Greffer Armed Wing play, and then I could just Burial back the stuff, and then summon Dad back to 3. So I think that's what happens here. We go Armed Wing. Okay, so now we're at 2. So if Armed Wing dies just by like Mirror Force or Gemini Spark or something like that, then I'm at 3. If not, if it gets removed somehow, then Dark Greffer dies, then I still have Dad and Dad's still alive. So he has Compulse. So I'm like, okay, I'll just wait. He goes swing, swing. Now I summon Dark Arm here, which I think they had. I don't know. They had Crow, but they didn't use it. I don't think. So we go Dad, target the Ocean. I don't want to target the back row because if it's something removable, then like a bottomless, then you just kind of lose out there. But if, it could also be Gemini Spark, which it is. So you want to just target the Ocean, just to guarantee something, and then I pop the back row, which is Gemini Spark on Dad. So now this was something I was considering at the time. I could have special summoned Cyber Dragon, summoned Dad, and have Burial for Armed Wing. That would be a lot of life points he would lose. I can just calculate how much that is. I don't think it was enough for game. 28, 20, 72. So yeah, he would have 500 life points left. And that would be me burning Solemn Judgment here. So, but I was like, I'll just lose if he has Miracle Fusion in hand, which he does. Or DD Crow, which he also has. So I was like, I'll just let it go. And I'll just hold the Solemn Judgment. And he has Crow for that, so I'm like, okay. Now it's going to take 19 here. Go Cyber Dragon. We drew Raikou, so that was nice. So we can just pop the Alias. We drew another Vayu, or we milled another Vayu. So we can go summon here. I think I have to Solemn Judgment this. Just in case, like, if he draws an Alias, then it'll just put me down to 100. So I was like, I guess I'll Solemn. But he has Miracle. See if it would have mattered. Because I could have potentially just Solemn the Miracle, and then they'll be left on Prison. Torrential, I'd be left on Raikou Caius. So I guess I would have been in a little bit better situation, but yeah, it doesn't look like it matters too much here. I went through all my Raikous, unfortunately, so Charge is dead. Now we're just playing this weird game. It's like, I'm trying not to die to like a top deck Alias. Which you already burned 2 of them, so like the E-Call, still has E-Call in the deck. And like I know his back rows are bound to be like Mirror Force Torrential. Or not Torrential, but Prison. So I'm like, I don't know if I want to attack. Like, so this is kind of like weird. So I think I'm in. Well, he has Road. I think he Torrentials here, but I don't think you Torrential. I guess maybe if I just go start swinging, but I don't know. I feel like you just because I was gonna make Black Rose there, but he just lets it happen. So Armor Master was like a good play because like I could just put a guy out there and then he top decks the Grand Mole. Also, I guess Armor Master like he has Crow anyway, so like he just does like a lot of stuff. I'm just can't really deal with. But the Grand Mole top deck was like, oh my god. So we go Dust on a Prison and just like I got rid of one Prison. You might have another one, but we're just gonna swing. You set Crow. I don't know why you set Crow. You just summon Grand Mole and attack for game, and he wins. But you just didn't do that. So I was like, what is this set? Maybe it's a snowman, or I'm not sure, but it was just a little weird. I feel like they could have killed me like 3 turns ago, but ended up losing anyways. I think I just kind of ran out of all my gas. I think all my Vayus were gone, so I was just like, well, I kind of lose at this point anyways. On to game 3, we got Burial, Solemn, Crow, Plague, Prison, MSC. So, not the best. I guess I could have set Solemn. Yeah, probably should have set Solemn, but they go Stratos here. And they're holding the Future Fusion. I guess they really want to. I don't know. I feel like you just activate Future Fusion. Like, I would MST it, obviously, but then you have your MST. Like, I don't think this card's doing a whole lot for you right now, because your hand's, like, monster heavy. 8 on Miracle, so. We go Card Trooper. We go Swing. And they go MST in my back row. I guess. So, maybe I should have set Solemn here. What was I playing around again? Anyways, they MST that, and then they get Chimera Tech, which is just not good positioning right now. And I drew Crow. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna lose. So I set Burial, Solemn, and they would have won here if they just summoned Dyna, but I guess they just didn't want to play into Torrential or Mirror Force too hard. So there's like, and they're still holding on to this Future Fusion, by the way. I guess they want to keep Gores alive, but so this like Trinity kind of like screwed them because they were holding Future Fusion to keep Gores live, but then they have Dyna, so they don't want to commit to Dyna because they have to be Future Fusion now. So it was just like a mess. So I'm at 400 to their almost 8,000. I draw a charge here. I'm sitting on double crow, by the way, so I'm like, okay, not particularly good. And we just set Raikou. Again, if he summons any monster, I'm just and he draws E-Call. Because E-Call for an Alias or another Ocean. Attack for game. Just didn't. Now they go E-Call for Alias and pass. I go Vayu, summon Armed Wing. Okay. I was thinking for a while for this turn too, so I go Stack Plague. They go Hero Blast. I could Crow this, but I just decided to Solemn because like the game's on the line at this point anyways. So, and I wasn't really sure exactly where this is going, but I could potentially make an Armory Arm if I have to with this. So I was just kind of just like, well, the game's just gonna end this turn anyway. So we summon Armor Master. We go Burial, return all our guys, summon another Armor Master, special summon Gale, and then this was enough for game, but if I had to get another 500, I could have made Army Arm as well. So yeah, bad play on their side. Like, I was dead to rights for like 3 turns and it just didn't kill me. I guess playing around Mirror Force Torrential is just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like you just risk it there. Just because, like, you got Future Fusion online. Yeah. They're just playing, like, super conservative there. But anyway, this is kind of like a do they have it or not kind of situation. And yeah, you look dumb if you play in the Mirror Force Torrential really hard. But you also look dumb if you just play around them super hard. So, and I mean, you have to win the game by attacking, so you just have to kind of have to know when to go for it and when not to. And they didn't go for it there, so I was able to. I got some fortunate Raikou Mills there, so yeah, that was like probably like a highlight for Raikou. But yeah, I probably should have lost the game. Their hand was kind of cracked, and mine was not. And them playing Future Fusion made it so they didn't want to go summon Dyna, and then they couldn't use Gore. So, say they didn't activate Future Fusion, or they activated a turn before, they would have had absolute 0. Yeah, it was just like a very awkward third game there. So, anyways, we are on to the finals. And then I'm playing against Hybrid Blackwing. They go first, they summon Shura, D-Prison, they got Blizzard, Shura, Bora, Blizzard. My hand is Vayu, Burial, Brain Control, Dust, Caius, Oppression. So I could have technically gone Brain Control, Shura, summon Caius, but I didn't really like that play because like if this is Icarus attack, like yeah, I can dust shoot one of their blizzards, but if they have like something else, then they can like it just makes their Icarus attack live. So I decided to just like wait it out and see like I'll just dust shoot and see what their hand looks like, and it's just saying dust shoot plays around Icarus attack too. So but they don't have Icarus, and they drew Balance Return. I was thinking about what I want to return. I kind of just took the blizzards out of the equation because I got oppression here. I was like, well, they can do one or two things. They can just like summon everything, summon everything this turn, or they can just wait till next turn, just like poke with Shura, and then they can kind of make a play. I decided to return the Shura. Maybe I could return the Bora, but I was thinking like, well, if they try to special summon Bora next turn, I could just suppression it, or put them like on that awkward play. Whereas like, I guess I was thinking maybe they'll play a little bit more conservative than just like spamming everything on the field. But they summon Bora, summon Blizzard, and start going in. And then they waited for a while, and there's like, they didn't set the bottomless, which is interesting. And they made Goyo. So I didn't really think they were on Icarus attack anymore. I was thinking maybe they had a second bottomless set, like another bottomless, because they didn't set the first one, so maybe this is bottomless now. So that's kind of what I did here. I go charge. Now I go brain control, take his Goyo. Now, thinking that this is bottomless still, because he just didn't set the first one, so I guess he's playing around Heavy Storm really hard. So I was like, okay, Goyo attack, I'll take Ashura. If it for some reason still is an Icarus attack, this plays right on that as well. But he goes deep prison. I'm like, okay. I guess it would have been better if I gone tribute Goyo for Caius, banish your back row, and then run over your Shura. But it didn't work out that way. They draw Vayu. And they go for a Blizzard play and a suppression here, so it puts me pretty low. They were saying that they should have, after this game, they should have synchroed with Shura instead of Bora, but I don't know, that's like super hindsight. Honestly, probably would have been better off if they just didn't make Goyo at all, but because then I think I probably just lose if they don't right there. Anyways, so we drew a hamster, we just set hamster. They go set Vayu, set Icarus attack, which sounds like, okay, well they probably drew Icarus. I didn't want to flip the hamster here because oppression would just kill it. So I'm like, well, might as well just throw Vayu out there because I got Soroka's engraved, so we swing. What they got? Bottomless still. Yeah, I know the bottomless is still there. They draw Bora. I just torrential here because, well, I guess, so what? I would take 900. Then I would have Caius play. So I guess I could have saved this torrential for a follow-up play. Like, if they draw something this following turn, then can get rid of it. We drew Armageddon Knight, send Necro. They drew MST. They drew Mirror Force. I go MST on back row. I was thinking maybe this one was the real back row, the one that MST'd, which was MST. Because they were thinking for a while, and like, if they wanted to set this, I'm like, well, it's probably just like a random spell. I guess it worked out though, because we just Caius the card anyways. And we summoned another Caius right after that, so it will the fight back into that game. I did open Trap Dust Shoot Brain Control, but was going second, so not as good. And just knowing his hand, I was able to play around a little bit. So I thought that was like a potential that they'd be on crossout, but I wasn't sure. I know they've been citing deck dev a lot, so I was thinking maybe they cite deck dev. Anyways, they go Bora, they got crossout Icarus, Arm Dragon, Dark Armed, Grepher, and Blizzard. And my hand, I mean, I got Burial Dad again, but other than that, it's a little slow. So we just set Reiko. Not much I could have else really done because setting prison. May have set prison for the Bora. That would have been like best. I guess I should have done that. But they go cross out here. And then they summon Grepher. So if had I known their hand, I guess maybe setting prison against Bora would have been really good because then just be on Grepher, Icarus, and then Icarus is dead. Then now I would be able to set Raikou prison here. Well, actually, I think they probably maybe they throw Blizzard out there just because they have Icarus. I'm not set it Blizzard. I'm not sure how that would necessarily work out, but regardless, that Raikou is going to get knocked. So now they go Icarus attack here and just pretty much just lose. Probably would have been good if I had a Cyber Dragon in this opening hand, just because I can go like Cyber Dragon, summon Caius, banish Bora, swing, and then I guess they can brain control, make a level 8, but I don't know. This kind of drew a little slow, and they had a pretty decent hand. On to game 3 of the finals. I'm going first, and we have a little bit awkward of a hand. Now, I started out Armanites, maybe after seeing game 2 that they were on Nox. I could have brought in Armanites, but like, I don't know, this doesn't feel good throwing an Armanite out there. Maybe I could have just kept one in the deck. Just because like it's easy for sure to kill and stuff, so. But so is Greffer, so ideally would have gone Rhoda for Armanite here, which might have made a difference. But I didn't have that option, so. Now their hand is, well, let's see what they banished first. So they banished Dad. I'm like, oh my god, their hand is loaded. Like, probably just like insane, but it's just like really trap heavy. They got Icarus, Sirocco, Mirror Force, Bottomless, Solemn, Cyber Dragon, so I mean, their hand's pretty good. They summon Sirocco, I Bottomless it, and they summon Cyber, which I'm like okay with, just because I have another Cyber to follow up with. I go Blind Dust on Bottomless. I guess in this case it was a better one to hit, because it was Stink if I hit Solemn, and then they would have bombs for the Cyber, so I was like, well, I'm just going to throw Cyber out there. But they Solemn Judgment it. I'm like, okay, well, this isn't that bad, because, let's see here. Well, I set the prison, and you draw Bora. So I prison Cyber Dragon. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to summon Greffer, poke. If this was a Armanite, I would be able to send Armed Wing, or like send Sirocco to make Armed Wing, but I don't know if I would have done it or not. Like, I guess potentially, like, okay, it would just be like, okay, this is game right here. So yeah, I mean, I might have just done that play where I had to go summon Armed Wing. Well, actually, it wouldn't have been game, because it would be Armanite instead of Greffer, so I wouldn't have done that. I just would have summoned Armageddon Knight and poke. Anyways, he takes this Greffer hit, puts him preload, 2300. I set prison, pass. By the way, they could have summoned Bora Icarus, but I guess they were playing around Heavy Storm. Now they summon their Sirocco, special summon Bora. Now this is just like bad sequencing here, like not like either player, just like my draw sequence. So I think my next card is Mirror Force, which would have been better here. So I just deprison the Sirocco. Then they go Bora. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, if I draw, I didn't want the crash to happen, because maybe this is a Blizzard in hand, because they've been holding it. They got nothing engraved, so like Bora dies, then Blizzard's alive. Like, okay, I haven't drawn Sirocco, I haven't drawn Caius yet. Both those cards would be absolutely crazy here. But I draw Mirror Force. If I had drawn Mirror Force to deprison last turn, he would have lost Sirocco and Bora, and he would just be on Icarus and Mirror Force. So Mirror Force is there. Then now he draws Blizzard. Now also if this deprison was a third, or if this Mirror Force was a third deprison, I think I win the match here. Which I played 2 deprisons and 1 Mirror Force. But if he goes attack there, I deprison. Now he's just on Icarus Blizzard. And then I draw Dust Tornado. And his Blizzard would be dead. So, yeah, and then I had Dust Tornado Mirror Force. I'm like, oh, I mean, I could be playing the Icarus attack here, but I'm just not going to set Dust Tornado here. So Mirror Force just made it awkward there. Then I draw Bottles. I'm like, oh my god. Okay. In the meantime, Dark Arm is live, and I just didn't draw anything to deal with it. So that's going to be a game, but, oh man. I can't help but think if this Mirror Force was the third D prison, I win the match. And win the tournament. Because I've been a D prison truther the whole time, but I was like, oh, I see a lot of builds playing 2D prison and Mirror Force, so I was like, I'll just try that out. And it kind of cost me in a way here. Yeah, because I just would have a lot more turns. And I'm not sure where this charge would lead, but assuming I would mill like Sirocco or something. Well, he would just knock this guy, but I would have milled Plague, and I don't know. I feel like my chances would have been better if it was deeper, but it wasn't, so I lost. But that was the tournament run. Overall, it went pretty well. I liked the deck. It was pretty fun. It was kind of went the way I was expecting it to go. Just like, make it like a really control-based Vayu deck, not like super aggro. Because like some people just want to like go Greffer spam. I was playing a little bit more conservative with like the hamster engine, and just that would be more consistent overall. Which I think it was, but sometimes like going second, the Greffer spam would be pretty nice. Anyways, thanks for watching, everyone. And check out the deck profile that I have posted up on the channel. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.